So I know you guys are very good at making math very visual, but I'm going to show you how to make math visual inside of the notebook software. So right now I have a circle, a rectangle, and I divided them into fractions or into multiple pieces of this particular shape. And I'll show you how to easily do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a new page. Okay, I added a new page. I'm going to bring out, say, a circle. So let's go to our shapes and my toolbar shapes, choose a circle. I want to fill it with a color. So I'm working my way left to right. So let's go to colors and I'll just choose a simple yellow circle and I'm going to make a nice big circle. Okay, I'm going to switch back to my mouse and I'm going to bring my circle to the center of the page. So let's go ahead and divide the shape. And first thing I'm going to do is select anywhere on this circle. If I didn't fill the shape in with a color and it's just a white background and it's a there's actually no fill, in order to select the shape I'm going to have to select on the line itself. But since this one is filled in with yellow, I can click anywhere on the yellow circle to select it. So now that I selected it, we see this blue box and this drop down in the upper right hand corner. Let's go ahead and click this drop down. And it's the same thing as a right click, or if you hold your finger on your smartboard for a while, you'll get the same option. But let's go ahead and say divide shape. Now it has to be a perfect circle in order to divide shape. And let's say I want to show the fractions, and let's divide it into 7 pieces. And okay, there you go. We have 7 pieces. What's neat is all these pieces are movable. Let's put them back into place. What's also cool is if we take our paint can or fill can, paint bucket, I'm not sure what it's exactly called, but our fill option, we're going to click on fill and I'm going to choose a color. So I can say, maybe let's choose a light green, and I can have my students come back and say, okay, show me 3/7. So we can fill in 1, 2, 3/7. Nice, fun, easy way to do circles. Let's go ahead and add another page. I'll show you how to do it with squares or rectangles. In this case, I'm going to bring out a rectangle. I'm going to choose my yellow fill again, just because it's nice and easy to see. Okay, go back to my select tool, and I'm going to select my rectangle, go back to my drop down, say divide shape. I'm going to keep my fractions up, so I want to be able to see the fractions, and say okay. So now here I divided in half. I'm going to select the upper half and I'm going to go drop down, divide shape again, and we'll notice that it breaks it down to 1/4. If I do the same thing, just select the top one, divide shape, and now I have 1/8. And now we can see or create a discussion on why 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/4 is the same thing as 1/2. Okay? So nice visual way to demonstrate fractions. I'm going to add another page. Let's try it this time with a square. And just remember, you can fill it with any color. I just choose yellow because it's an easy thing to see. I'm going to choose a square. Select my square, drop down, and say divide shape. In this case, let's divide it by 6. And I'm going to take off the fractions. I don't want to see the fractions. And it divides it into 6 pieces. Okay, so the square and the rectangle are going to divide the same way. Unfortunately, there's no way, or at least I don't know any way, to divide the shape vertically. So if I wanted to divide the square vertically, I'm just going to have to take an extra step, select my object. I'm going to group it, because if I don't group it and I start rotating, that's what's going to happen. It looks neat, but not what we want. So I'm going to group it first, and how I group is either Control G on your keyboard, or I can say this drop down, group. In this case, I'm going to ungroup. Let's try this again. So I'm going to select all my objects, drop down, group, and then group again. If you're on a smartboard, you can group it by shaking the objects. So you're going to select all your objects and shake to group. Okay, there you go. So now I have my vertical shape. Now the other question is, what happens to the fraction if we have a fraction in there? So let's make it yellow again. Same square. Drop down. Divide shape into, let's this time this to 5 pieces. Show fractions. Okay. Select all my objects. I'm going to shake to group if you're on a smartboard. If not, drop down, group, and then group again, or you can click on Control G. Rotate my square sidewards, and unfortunately, the fractions stay with the shape. So it's going to turn on its axis. So let's go ahead. I'm going to ungroup. So drop down, group, ungroup. If you figure out a way to divide the shape vertically with the fractions changing its orientation when I rotate it, or if I don't even need to rotate it, leave a comment in the bottom so I can learn as well. I right now unfortunately have no clue how to make it look the way I want unless I manually typed it in. And so watch my other videos on how to easily write equations instead of typing it in. In this case, I can just write on it. I would say, let's choose a red. 1, 6, 1, 6. And make it look ugly that way. But if you know how to divide shapes vertically with the fractions in the right orientation, leave a comment below. Help a sister out. Aside from that, thanks for watching. And I'll see you on some other videos.